Just 12 miles from Norfolk's southern border lies the picturesque village of Rougham. It's a place of quiet beauty, of farmland and footpaths, where history feels close to the surface. But for over a century, this seemingly ordinary English village has been the stage for one of the world's most baffling phenomena. Here, solid, tangible houses have appeared out of thin air, only to vanish moments later, leaving behind nothing but questions and a profound sense of mystery. The heart of the mystery lies on a stretch of road known as Kingshall Street, flanked by fields and a dense overgrown woodland known as Colville's Grove. To the casual eye, it's just another part of the countryside. But look closer. This is where the veil between time seems to be at its thinnest. Our story begins in 1926. A young teacher, Ruth Wynne, and her pupil, Evelyn Allington, set off on a walk towards Bradfield St George Church. As they came out onto this road, they saw something extraordinary. A high wall of greenish-yellow bricks, towering wrought-iron gates, and behind them the glimpse of a large Georgian house nestled among trees. They noted its double-fronted Georgian design, a perfectly normal, albeit impressive, country house. Months later in the spring, they decided to retrace their steps. They walked the same route, emerged onto the same road, and stopped dead in their tracks. The wall was gone, the gates were gone, the house had vanished. In its place was a wilderness of tumbled earth, weeds and ancient trees. A pond and pools of water stood where the house should have been, features that clearly had been there for decades. The house that they'd seen and discussed and remembered had simply ceased to exist. But they were not alone. Through the decades, the reports have piled up, each one more compelling than the last. In the early 1900s, a local butcher named George Waylett was driving his pony and trap down this same road with a young boy, James Cobbold. With a loud swooshing noise, a double-fronted brick house suddenly materialised. The pony screamed in terror, reared up and bolted. In the few seconds, Cobbold saw a detailed garden, flower beds edged with bricks, geraniums and pansies in full bloom. Then a mist enveloped it, and it faded away. The sightings continued in the 1940s. A salesman named Edward Bentley spotted a house and told his manager they'd missed a delivery. They reversed the car, but the building was gone. In 1976, a 14-year-old girl, Sandra Hardwick, was cycling home at dusk when a beautiful thatched cottage suddenly appeared, brightly illuminated, as if by summer sun. Yet the air turned deathly cold. And as recently as 2007, a visitor named Jean Battram was driving down Kingshall Street with her husband when she spotted a large Georgian house across a freshly ploughed field. She pointed it out, but on their return journey, the field was empty. The house had vanished. What is it about this place? Researchers have descended on Rougham and their findings are as fascinating as the sightings themselves. In Colville's Grove they found physical evidence, fragments of brick and tile, the remains of tree avenues, suggesting a large house did stand here once, built sometime after 1783 and demolished before 1860. The houses people see are not fantasies. They seem to be echoes of a building that was genuinely there. But why here? Locals speak of a strange energy in the grove, a place where dogs refuse to enter, where people report feeling dizzy, nauseous, and overwhelmed by an unseen force. One man, using dowsing rods to detect earth energies, had his metal rods thrown from his hands by an invisible power. Another witnessed a strange, swirling vortex of air and debris sweeping through the trees, a phenomena that echoes the swooshing noise described by Cobbold over a century before. So, what are we to make of the Rougham mystery? Are these time slips, brief accidental windows into a past where these houses once stood? Are they visions imprinted on the landscape, triggered by some unknown energy that welled up from the earth below? The houses of Rougham are more than just ghost stories. They are solid, detailed, and seen by multiple credible witnesses across different eras. They appear in sunlight and vanish without a trace, leaving behind only a profound mystery etched into the English countryside. The question is not if they appear, but why? What if time isn't a straight line, but a river that can sometimes bend back on itself? Modern physics offers a startling clue. Scientists are discovering that at the most fundamental level, time may not be a one-way street. Experiments suggest the flow of time can flow both forwards and backwards. Researchers at the University of Surrey have uncovered evidence suggesting that time may not be confined to a single forward direction. They say photons can spend a negative amount of time inside an atom cloud. And challenging conventional understanding of chronological temporal sequences, researchers at the University of Toronto demonstrated the phenomenon of negative time in quantum physics. Perhaps places like Rougham sit atop a natural anomaly, a fold in the fabric of space-time itself. Here, the past hasn't vanished, it's simply hidden, and sometimes, for a fleeting moment, the veil is lifted. A Georgian mansion, a thatched cottage, echoes of what once was briefly stepping back into the light. If time can fold, what does that say about our reality? The emerging theory is that our classical world of cause and effect emerges from a deeper quantum realm, a seething ocean of possibility where time's arrow is not yet fixed. In this quantum substrate, the past, the present, and the future may not be separate states, but exist simultaneously. Rougham might be a natural glitch where this underlying quantum reality briefly bleeds through. The strange energies reported here, the vortices, the sickness, the dowsing responses, could be side effects of this localized instability in space-time. This leads to profound, unsettling questions. The implications are, quite frankly, astonishing. A teacher and her pupil first would spy the Georgian wall that towered against the sky. Through decades more, the sightings would persist. A salesman, child, and cyclist in the mist, each seeing brick and bloom in sharp relief, then feeling time's unfolding twist to grief. Now science hints that time may bend and fold, a quantum truth that ancient stones have told.